Happening now, strong damaging winds along with a slight chance of tornadic activity is expected today in western New York. We have live team coverage on the storm and a look at the big construction project underway at Jamestown Public Schools. Plus, our local congressman meets one-on-one with Chautauqua County Sheriff to discuss public safety in our community.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
And thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Those stories and more are coming up, but first today we start with First Defense weather as a round of severe storms is predicted for our area with a small chance of tornadic activity bringing heavy winds. Chief Weather Forecaster Andrew Stevenson joins us. And Andrew, as we saw over this past weekend, it's another round of possibly some severe damaging weather today.
Yep, and the NOAA Storm Prediction Center, they continue with their slight risk for severe weather across all of the region, and there still is a small enhanced risk for a small portion of Erie County, Pennsylvania. Now, the main risk today with these severe storms will be strong damaging winds in excess of 60, 65, maybe even as high as 70 miles per hour, along with some heavy downpours and a chance of some small hail. And there is also, again, a small 5% chance that we might see a tornado. What that means is if you pick any location, there's a 5% chance that there's a tornado within 25 miles of that location or any location. Although the tornado risk is low, there is a chance today. And so what's the difference between a watch and a warning? If a severe thunderstorm watch or even a tornado watch is issued today, that means conditions are favorable for severe weather. Get prepared and be ready in case a warning is issued. If a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning is issued today, that means severe weather is occurring or imminent, so you need to take action and get into your safe spot. And we'll be keeping you updated throughout the day. So here is your forecast for today. Mostly cloudy skies, some sunshine out there. If we get the sunshine, that will aid in development of severe storms, and the storms look to fire up between 3 and 9 p.m. today. And the highs today were already past 70 degrees. We might make it in close to 80, and the record today is 78 degrees. So we'll see if we can break that record. I'll have the full forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Andrew, thank you. And we remind you to stay up to date during the storm by downloading the WNY News Now mobile app. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Of course, we'll break in if warranted throughout the afternoon. Well, with damaging winds expected to hit western New York today, local power companies and emergency managers are at the ready. Our Bronson Rasmussen joins us live from the newsroom with what those at home can do to be prepared for this afternoon's severe weather. Hi, Bronson.
Justin, on the heels of last weekend's severe weather, which brought bouts of rain, lightning, and high winds, power companies are still shaken up, but they are prepared to tackle whatever Mother Nature throws our way today.
The fire service will always muster up to the calls that are given to them. Our office has been in contact with National Grid and NYSEG, who have been in very good communication with me, in the last storm and up to this one. They're pre-positioning assets that will work hand in hand with the fire service to restore power.
When dealing with severe weather, it is imperative to be prepared.
Having bottled water on hand is always a good idea. A full tank of gas, having battery-operated flashlights and radios just as a precaution, having that on hand as well. Signing up for outage alerts on our social media and our web pages is always good.
Those with National Grid also mirror this mindset.
Make sure your phones are charged leading up to this afternoon when the winds are supposed to pick up and increase in speed. Make sure you have some flashlights with some fresh batteries for overnight. And make sure that you're checking on your older family members and neighbors or others might need some assistance.
If you don't have surge protectors on your appliances and your equipment, the power goes out, it never hurts to turn things off, just in case when it comes back, if there is that unavoidable power surge, things beyond our control.
In addition, it is imperative to stay clear of downed power lines and wires. The best advice is to call the authorities and report the hazard. If it is safe to do so, viewers can also share storm damage photos and videos to our team on social media, WNY News Now, or via email to the news desk at WNYNewsNow.com. Reporting live in the newsroom, Bronson Rasmussen, WNY News Now.
All right, Brunson, thank you very much. Pennsylvania State Police have launched an animal cruelty investigation after a dog was found dead in a garbage bag in Warren County, PA. The discovery was made near Stone Hill Road and Liberty Street in Conewango Township Monday. Troopers located a dead Labrador inside a garbage bag with an apparent bullet wound to its head. The dog was wearing a green cloth collar with a dog bone-shaped buckle. Anyone with information is asked to call State Police in Warren at 814-728-3600. And an unintended cooking oil is blamed for igniting a fire that heavily damaged an apartment in Dunkirk. City of Dunkirk fire crews responded to 137 Maple Avenue on Tuesday, finding heavy fire on the first and second floor of the two-family home. While all human occupants of the house made it out safely before crews arrived, firefighters made entry to rescue 2 dogs from the structure, with the crews later administering oxygen at the scene. After flames were knocked down, the Chautauqua County Fire Investigation Team was called to determine the blaze's cause and origin, and detectives have since ruled the fire accidental, with cooking oil left on an unattended stovetop the cause. And an over $85 million capital improvement project officially got underway on Tuesday in Jamestown, with officials with Jamestown Public Schools breaking ground on the first phase of the project at the Tech Academy downtown. Now, back in May 2021, taxpayers approved the district-wide project, which is a multi-phase endeavor entailing improvements to classrooms, windows, roofs, sidewalks, and HVAC systems. New security measures will also be rolled out at locations like the Tech Academy. Young and Wright Architectural Project Coordinator Eric Zinrefo is leading renovations.
We're going to be doing some concrete replacements because the flooring isn't draining properly whenever they hose the buses down. And then over at Fletcher Elementary, we're also doing a lot of ceiling replacements, roofing replacements, a lot of the invisible work in a building like plumbing, mechanical, all of that kind of work.
Now, some construction work is already underway today, with the project continuing into the summer until it's expected to be completed in 2026. Well, the Southern Tier's U.S. representative paid a visit to Chautauqua County on Tuesday, where he met with local law enforcement officials. Jackson Hickey tagged along for the visit and joins us now from the studio with more. Hi, Jackson.
Justin, Representative Nick Langworthy of New York's 23rd Congressional District met with leaders at the Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office in the hopes of understanding and supporting the needs of the department. On Tuesday, the congressman met with Sheriff Jim Quattrone before touring the county jail, law enforcement offices, and the dispatch center.
They're obviously on the front lines of a lot of the crises going on in our communities. So, obviously, known Sheriff Quattrone for years, and there's none better than the job he does here in Chautauqua County. But coming here to see the jail facilities, but also to talk to the employees, asking them what they're seeing, what their biggest challenges are. I think it's very helpful to certainly shape my worldview as I go to Congress and face a lot of the important questions in front of us.
For local law enforcement, visits like this are important to influence national policy.
It gives support to all of our staff. Many times, whether it's our dispatchers, our corrections officers, our patrol guys, I feel underappreciated. We talked about some of the laws that have been enacted in New York State, oftentimes made without any consultation with the people in the field to see how it directly impacts us. And so it's very much appreciated, the congressman being here to hear from us what we need, what we can help us to do our jobs better, and that's what our goal is.
One of the big issues facing law enforcement, Langworthy argues, is the influx of illegal drugs.
Just talking to some of the detectives about the constant theme of fentanyl, hearing how it's affecting people on the front lines. I mean, I've heard multiple instances within my district, in some of the southern tier counties of our police officers having to be Narcan because of incidental contact on the scene.
Now, following his tour of several local departments, Congressman Langworthy hopes his newfound experiences can help drive new policy changes, both nationwide and in Western New York. Jackson Hickey, WNY News Now.
All right, Jackson, thank you. As WNY News Now continues, we explain the latest development in a push for a new stadium for the Buffalo Bills. To help those impacted by deadly tornadoes nationwide. Stay with us.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Have you ever wanted to live out your dreams? Hunt, fish, in all corners of the earth? Well, now's your chance. Follow Primitive Patriot Outdoors as we live out our dreams and show you how to live out yours through outdoor adventures. From Western New York to Africa to all corners of the earth. It's an experience you've never seen before. Lead and Lures, Roku TV, channel 716.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
The Buffalo Bills moved closer to one major step to break ground on their new stadium by June 1st. After formally submitting the final contractual agreements, including a detailed 30-year lease to Erie County on Tuesday, the legislature now has 30 days to review the documents and ratify the agreement. And the county's approval would clear the way for construction on the now projected $1.5 billion plus 60,000 feet facility to begin across the street from the current stadium in Orchard Park. The cost of the facility has increased from the original estimate of $1.4 billion. A majority of the construction on the open-air stadium is expected to be completed in time for the 2026 Buffalo Bills season. Well, volunteers with the Red Cross, they're stepping up to help communities impacted by last week's storms and tornadoes. A total of 10 volunteers from our overall region have been deployed to Arkansas and California, with more expected in the coming days. The storm's outbreak last Friday spawned more than 50 tornadoes in 7 states, killing at least 32 people.
It is difficult. Our disasters are becoming larger and more frequent across the country. So it does put a strain on the system, but there are a lot of good people out there that are just happy to help other folks. And so they, step up and go in and out as many times as they can.
Now, volunteers are going to help with distribution efforts by providing cleanup kits, blankets, and cases of water to those in need. A bill that would pause the statute of limitations for all crimes alleged to be committed by the sitting president of the United States has passed in New York State Senate. Our New York Capitol correspondent Elise Klein gets reaction from lawmakers and breaks down the legislation that has spurred from President Donald Trump's indictment.
In a Manhattan courthouse, former President Donald Trump appeared for his arraignment hearing, where his indictment was unsealed and a judge formally announced criminal charges. While crowds surround the courthouse and Trump supporters continue to donate large amounts of money to his campaign following his indictment, some Democratic lawmakers expressed concern.
It's really unbelievable, and it shows the corrupt nature of today's Republican Party.
Some Republican lawmakers say the indictment is a political prosecution. They say judicial systems should be beyond politics.
You wonder where justice is going to be served in this case, and I just don't see it. The guy's running for president. He was a former president, and even if, I happen to think it's political too, but even if they're successful in the conviction, what does that bring us? Just more division, unfortunately, in this country.
In a response to Trump's indictment, the state Senate recently passed legislation that would pause the statute of limitations for civil and criminal prosecutions for individuals who serve as president of the United States.
Just because you held a high office in the government, that doesn't mean that you're absolved of all responsibilities once you leave. Every person is not above the law, no matter if you're president or not.
The legislation would have to pass in the Assembly in the same language before being sent to Governor Hochul's desk, where she can either sign it into law or veto the bill. In Albany, Elise Klein, WNY News Now.
Hundreds of farmers and officials were in Harrisburg, PA on Tuesday to educate and advocate for Pennsylvania agriculture. The Pennsylvania Farm Bureau held their annual legislative conference. They also shared some unique learning opportunities outside the Capitol. The Pennsylvania Friends of Agriculture Foundation, which is supported by the PA Farm Bureau, provided an interactive display known as the Farms to Families Immersion Lab. The Immersion Lab provided fun facts about Pennsylvania agricultural products and even had a tractor simulator. Most importantly, the lab helps educate children about nutrition and making healthy choices.
The simple fact is children are our future consumers, and they will eventually be doing what their parents do, is deciding what food choices they're going to make for themselves.
The legislative conference during the day on Tuesday, the Agricultural Secretary, Russell Redding, and Governor Josh Shapiro, they discussed various budget proposals for the industry, including funding to address the avian flu. Well, coming up, the latest on an FDA eye drop recall as investigators are working to determine what caused a bacterial infection with the product. And later, more on the court arraignment of President Donald Trump. But first, when we return, Andrew has a full look at our weather forecast and more on the storms coming our way.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
On this episode of Lead and Lures, pro staffer and lethal lady Caitlin Armstrong takes out her big Ohio buck. Months of hard work, dedication, and scouting have led her to this moment. You're not going to want to miss this episode of Lead and Lures on Channel 716 Roku TV. And if you want to see more of Caitlin Armstrong, follow her on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram.
Hunting on private land has been quite the experience.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way. My kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Fast, accurate, and everyday. First Defense Weather.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. Currently in downtown Jamestown, we're under mostly cloudy skies. The temperature is 75 degrees at the Jamestown Airport as of the noon hour with a south wind of 15 miles per hour, and the dew point is 58 degrees out there. So it's going to start feeling a little bit muggy out there out ahead of that cold front that moves through later tonight. So here's some severe weather safety tips. Should a severe thunderstorm warning be issued today, you want to get inside a sturdy building. If there's no building nearby, then get inside your vehicle.
Once you're inside a sturdy building, do not use the phone and do not take a shower. Lightning can travel through the phone lines as well as travel through the pipes in your house. You want to stay away from windows and make sure you have a way to get warnings. If a tornado warning ends up being issued today, then you need to take immediate action. Get underground, preferably a basement. If there's no basement in your building or home, then get inside an interior room on the lowest level of your building and stay away from windows, and once again have a way to get updates. If you are caught outside during a tornado, if a tornado warning is issued, do not stay in the car, do not get in the car, and get out of a mobile home. They can act as projections for the tornado. You do not want to shelter under an overpass either, because that overpass can act as a wind tunnel and tornado can send debris underneath the overpass. If there's no shelter nearby, no buildings, and you can't get inside the building, and you want to lie in a ditch and make sure you cover your head and neck to protect from flying debris. Here is the culprit for all this talk about severe weather. There is a cold front currently starting to pass just into Illinois right now, and all these showers and thunderstorms are firing up out ahead of that cold front, and right now we're over 3,000 lightning strikes with this cold front, and that cold front will continue to march its way this way, and the storms will fire up this afternoon. So let's time it out on future scan. At least through the early part of the afternoon we'll have mostly cloudy skies, maybe a shower or two, but those storms will begin to fire up around 4, 5 o'clock and will continue between the 5, 7 o'clock hour, and then behind that the cold front will move through later tonight. The severe storms most likely will happen this afternoon, and even with that cold front later tonight, we're not really expecting any severe weather with the cold front moving through, but still there will be some showers and maybe a thunderstorm as that cold front moves through later tonight. We'll have a few leftover rain showers early tomorrow morning, but they will end by the afternoon, and the clouds will begin to dissipate and high pressure will begin in, and we should go partly to mostly sunny skies tomorrow afternoon, and the partly to mostly sunny skies will stay with us Friday, Saturday, and into Sunday. And after we get through the storms today, it's going to be a beautiful period of weather. Tomorrow, temperatures in the lower 50s. It will be chilly on Friday with temperatures in the lower 40s, but we go to near 50 on Saturday, near 60 on Sunday for Easter Sunday with plenty of sunshine, and we have a slight chance for a few showers next Monday, but otherwise, after today, an extended period of dry weather to enjoy and a much needed break from the active weather too.
Yeah, certainly is. Andrew, thank you. Let's get some headlines from around the nation. And the Food and Drug Administration says the maker of a brand of eye drops linked to an outbreak of bacterial infections failed to follow safety protocols. The FDA visited the Global Pharma Healthcare facility in India to inspect them back in mid-February. The visit came 2.5 weeks after the company voluntarily recalled their IsraCare artificial tear product because of possible contamination. Well, the government group includes a manufacture process that linked assurance of a product sterility as the main cause here, specifically for batches manufactured between December 2020 and April of 2022. They were shipped throughout the United States. Well, we've seen something that we've never seen before here in the U.S. A former president sitting at the defense table, charged with nearly 36 crimes. Mike Valario has more from New York City.
Former President Donald Trump made history Tuesday and turned down his first chance to talk about it.
How did you plead, President Trump? How did you plead?
Trump silently passing cameras after solemnly appearing in Manhattan criminal court. The 45th president of the United States charged with 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. He pleaded not guilty to each one, with his attorney vowing to fight.
He's frustrated, he's upset, but I'll tell you what, he's motivated.
Prosecutors allege in court documents the former president orchestrated an unlawful scheme to influence the 2016 presidential election.
At its core, this case today is one with allegations like so many of our white-collar cases. Allegations that someone lied again and again to protect their interests and evade the laws to which we are all held accountable.
Many Republicans responded to the indictment by criticizing Bragg. Even Republican Senator Mitt Romney, who said in a statement Trump's character and conduct make him unfit for office. He believes Bragg stretched to reach felony criminal charges in order to fit a political agenda. Trump was fingerprinted. Then after his arraignment, he was free to leave, flying back to Mar-a-Lago and thanking his supporters.
I never thought anything like this could happen in America. Never thought it could happen. The only crime that I have committed is to fearlessly defend our nation from those who seek to destroy it.
In New York, I'm Mike Valerio.
NATO has a new member, the Nordic country of Finland. Researchers say Finland's decision to pursue NATO membership was influenced heavily by the war in Ukraine. Finland shares a roughly 800-mile border with Russia. Researchers with the RAND Corporation, a nonprofit group, says the combination of Russian threats of nuclear escalation as well as their brutality shown in Ukraine pushed Finland to seek the membership. Researchers say Finland brings a very capable Air Force and Navy to NATO's alliance.
Well, they have that capacity to put up a strong resistance on their own. What they would like to have now is that guarantee that they could be expect that the United States and other members of NATO would come to their assistance and protect them against any kind of Russian aggression under the principles of the North Atlantic Treaty. Particularly that Article 5, which is oftentimes cited as attack against one is attack against all.
Researchers say Russia thought they could prevent a NATO expansion by invading Ukraine, but their invasion had the opposite impact. Sweden also hoping to be the next member of NATO as well. Sweden started seeking NATO's membership after Russia invaded Ukraine. Well, coming up next, in honor of Autism Awareness Month, we hear from a mother and advocate helping parents and children with the disorder.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news. WNY News Now is covering stories that matter to you.
An issue for the agriculture community and some GOP lawmakers is the new financial burden.
The DA telling me he's received 30,000 files alone from New York State Police in the form of things like PDF files, Excel sheets, and video evidence.
It will leave the city of Jamestown with 60 firefighters.
WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job. I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing. After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working. I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this. You will find something.
You will find something new.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
April is Autism Awareness Month, and for one parent in particular, it hits close to home. Not only has she made a career out of helping those with autism, she has a family tie to the disorder as well. WNY News Now's Megan Solinsky sits down with Sarah Kitchen to get advice for parents who might be in a similar situation.
Sarah Kitchen loves her daughter.
My daughter's awesome. I will say that. She is great. She's the coolest 11-year-old ever. She's the only kid that I know that complains that they don't learn enough about the world's wars in school. And so she spends her own time just researching, reading books, looking up stuff on YouTube. For a period of time, she was obsessed with the first ladies. That was her thing. She was 6 and she was Jackie Kennedy for Halloween. Previous to that, she was a Statue of Liberty. She's very into politics.
She enjoys watching Lucy grow, but being her parent has not come without its challenges.
My husband has since passed away, so I'm a single mom working and also trying to maintain the social life of an 11-year-old.
Lucy struggles with social interaction and communication. She has found it hard to make friends at times. Lucy has autism.
She'd be fine just sitting in her room, reading her books all day long. I want her to at least have the opportunity. If she chooses to do that, that's fine. I just don't want her to miss out socially because she doesn't have the skills.
Receiving that initial diagnosis was overwhelming for Kitchen.
It was very overwhelming. I thought, I just want to get through this day, this diagnosis, and start to digest that.
The doctors told her that she needed a long-term plan for Lucy, and that this would impact Lucy's life for years to come.
She doesn't see autism as something holding her back. She sees it as something that makes her unique and special and is going to set her apart.
Kitchen tells us that building a support group has been extremely helpful. She advises that all parents seek out help if they have any questions or concerns about their children. Megan Solinsky, WNY News Now.
Megan. Thank you. Certainly Lucy's got a bunch of friends right here. Well, that's going to do it for us today. News continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. Be sure to stay weather aware. Have a great day.